So now we'll talk about arrays, which are similar to what our other programming languages call lists. So basically, it's another type of variable that stores more than one value. So we invent a variable name and set it equal to the word array, then in square brackets, all of the values we want in the list, or the array. So we'll do an array of string values, for example, so they each have to be enclosed by quotation marks and separated from each other using commas. Then to print the contents of the array to the screen, we can use either print or puts, followed by the array name, hit run, and that's how it looks when we use the print function. But if we use the puts function, each value prints on top of each other and without the punctuation. We also can do a mixture of value types within an array. So for example, we type 9 instead of cat, and it still prints to the screen without getting an error message. You can print individual values from an array by adding square brackets to the array variable name and writing the numerical position of the value you want. The first value in an array is 0, so if we want it to print cat, we need to type 0 within the parameter square brackets. Hit run and you see cat printed to the screen. If we wanted the second item in the array, we type 1, hit run, and now we see just dog printed to the screen. If we want the third item in the array, we type 2. Now we see cow printed to the screen. We can also use negative numbers to print a value at the end of the array, so here -1 returns pig. We can also print ranges of values of an array by typing the first value in the range, comma, then the last value, hit run, and it prints all the values within that range. We can also replace values with new values within an array by typing the array variable name, then in square brackets the value you want to change, then write equals, then the name of the new value. Because we're using a string value, it needs to be in quotations. We hit run and it prints the new array to the screen. Let's try adding another value at the end of the array. So there's 0, 1, 2, 3. So to add a new value, instead of replace a value accidentally, we type 4 into both square brackets. The first square bracket stores the value and the second one just displays it to the screen. And to check whether cat is still at 0, let's change the value to be printed back to 0, hit run, and we see cat once again gets printed to the screen in the 0 position. You can also create an array that initially has no values that you add values to later. So here an empty array within the animals variable would be written as array.new. Then whenever you want to add values to the array, you do the array variable name with the parameters square brackets, and within them specify what position you want the value to be in the array, just as we saw before. So we'll choose 0 and set that equal to the string value cat. Hit enter and create a new value, which we can once again replace at any number. So we'll try 7 this time, and set that equal to the string value frog. We hit run and we see that what happens is that because the values are set to the numbers far apart from each other in the array, they are displayed far apart when we print the whole array to the screen. If we change 0 to 1 and hit run, we then see cat is slightly closer to frog. We can also add .length to the array variable name to get the number of values stored in the array. Although I've included brackets at the end of the length function, it's not a necessary syntax in Ruby like it is in other programming languages. We hit run and we see that there are 4 values stored in this array. We can also add .include question mark space then a value to ask Ruby if a certain value is stored in the array. So we'll ask if a string value is in the array, so the value in question needs to be enclosed in quotations. Hit run and it responds true as cat is found in the array. However, if we misspell the string even by one letter, it will return false. We can also add the .sort function to print the values in the array out to the screen in alphabetical order. We hit run and we see all of the animals starting with C first, then D, then P. In addition to the sort function, we could use the .reverse function, which prints the values in the array starting with the last value, descending all the way to the first value as written lastly.